What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. This is a Sunday Sports Edition. I got my man in here today.
What's
I'm
up,
gonna, I'm,
everybody? What's up?
I'm gonna check the volume. All right, cool. Yeah, we good. Yeah, I got a few things on the list for us to tackle, a few topics for us to tackle.
Let's
But
go. Let's talk about it. Let's get it in. Let's do this. Let's do
yeah,
this.
that's good. Let's start out with the WNBA, right? And Caitlin Clark, she not playing. She not gonna play with Unrivaled. She turned down that $1 million that they had offered her, and so she not playing with them, right? But my question is, do you think? And I think that the people from the Unrivaled League knew all along that Caitlin Clark wasn't gonna play, but I think they be kind of like stringing the fans along and just used her as like free publicity for the league. And do you think that was wrong of them to use her as free publicity?
Absolutely, absolutely not. If there's
Yeah.
if you got a 1% chance of grabbing her, you
Hmm.
talk about it, you put it out there, and you try to make it happen.
Yeah.
Because that's really talk about the situation that what I'm saying. If you don't put it out there in the world, it may not happen.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if they had that chance, you definitely do it. Especially
Yeah.
if you think that Caitlin Clark is not being used to her potential from the WNBA.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
mean, why not? Why not put it out there in the world and see what you can get?
Yeah. And I mean, it wasn't like a definite no. And I mean, and it may not be a definite no now. You know what I mean? She may just want to take some time off to just to. She had a long year. You know what I mean? She played
Right.
college. Then you know what I mean. Then they went to the championship game, and then she went right into that WNBA season. So it's been a long year.
Well, I'm telling you what the WNBA really has to worry about is one of them European leagues grabbing her ass or the
Yeah,
Japanese league grabbing her. That's
yeah,
what they really got to worry about. Because
yeah.
when it comes to the fact of those European, especially the Chinese leagues,
Hmm.
them boys are paying big money,
Right.
and women's sports is huge overseas.
Yeah,
So that's what the WNBA has to worry about.
yeah. So you don't think that this unrivaled league is really going to be a threat
Nah,
to the yeah, yeah,
nah. I don't think
yeah,
it's going to be a threat. I think
yeah.
it's just it's just something another league is trying to take advantage of how hot women sports is right now,
Hmm.
and they go to go to the next level itself.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I definitely think you know what I mean. Yeah, they trying to capitalize on how how hot women's sports are right now. I can definitely agree with that. And
Right.
so yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to go over that because some people were saying that Unrivaled was taking advantage of the fact that Caitlin Clark might play. But
How do you take advantage of that? If
yeah,
that's the case, then all sports does it. You know what I'm saying? Look what they do with the recruits that come in from high school in the college game.
hmm,
Everybody hoping that they play. They say they may play, but it's not official until somebody sign a document. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Look what
yeah.
happened to LSU a couple of days ago. The top recruit from LSU stopped going to them and went to Colorado.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That was the latest on the Caitlin Clark news front. But oh yeah. And have you heard? Let me see. Asia, what was her name? Asia Wilson. She said that she would beat Josh Hart 11-8 in a one-on-one. Did you see that interview with Asia Wilson and Josh Hart?
No, I didn't see it, but again, that's throwing something to the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you this, they're gonna keep rising it up, rising it up, rising it up. And so sooner or later, somebody's gonna pay for a pay-per-view to watch that happen.
hmm,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's what the competition is bringing right now. Everybody, all the females now figure, hey, if I challenge a male, you know
hmm,
what I'm saying? Somebody will talk about it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But when you challenge him, the thing that's going to happen with that situation is when you challenge a male to a sport, especially a sport that a male can really dominate because of the size and the
hmm,
strength factor, and they
yeah,
get beat, The male had the women has nothing to lose in that scenario.
Right.
Whoever they challenge is the one that has everything to lose, and the woman knows that. Just like the woman challenging a man in boxing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She has nothing to lose. If she loses, it was expected. If she wins, then she's a beast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So she has nothing to lose. So why not do that?
Yeah.
It's up to the man not to accept that situation.
It was Clarissa Shields did the same thing. She I forgot who the boxer she said, the male boxer, she said she'll be able to beat, but
right. Exactly, yo.
But Clarissa Shields wound up getting knocked down by a guy who's almost not too much better than an amateur boxer.
Dude, let me tell you. The weight of the situation is, like I say, you throw something on the wall to see what it sticks. All right. And when they do that, whoever they challenge has everything to lose. Yeah. She has everything to gain in that match. So I just don't understand the point where as though, some women want to challenge men and then some women don't want to challenge men.
Yeah, well, they just said, the people just saying that, like it's almost like delusional that she even think that she could beat Josh Hart in a one-on-one, and she was, you know what I mean? She was like adamant that she could beat him, what she said, I think she said she would beat him 11-8 in a one-on-one.
Right, and which is, and she might be able to do it, but the problem is, I bet you she wouldn't do it for free.
Yeah.
I bet you they wouldn't go on the playground and say, hey, here's a basketball, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you got a point to prove, you prove the point. You ain't got to prove the point, through pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you really want to challenge that dude, be like, look, let's go outside right now. Let's grab a basketball, let's find a court, and let's make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If they don't do that, what you're trying to prove a point.
Yeah. So I mean, that's probably it for like my WNBA news. Let me see what else I got for the WNBA. Basically, that's about it. Did you catch that Colorado Kansas game yesterday?
Yeah, I watched some of it.
Yeah, man, it was a good game. For Kansas anyway. Kansas wound up winning 37-21, right?
Right.
And this guy, Devin Neal, man, he just ran all over top of Colorado yesterday. He had like 4 touchdowns. He had his way with that defense, man. He just ran all over top of. But
right, and that's and that's what I was trying to tell everybody. Like, Colorado is good, but when you play top-notch teams, it will show how talented you really are, and they're just not really at that level yet.
Yeah, well, I think Colorado had a better record than Kansas State. It's just that Kansas State lately have been coming on really strong. Like they beat at least 2 other ranked teams. So, they really turned their season around. They got off to a slow start, and like I said, they beat a couple other ranked teams, and now Colorado.
It's gonna get tough for them boys. It's gonna get tough.
Yeah,
because now everybody knows Colorado's coming. You ain't got the stigma of Dion and Travis and everything. Next year is gonna be really tough for Colorado.
Yeah,
because now they're gonna have to play big boy schedules.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you playing big boy schedules, now you're gonna have to step up to the plate.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I can tell you this: as good as Travis Hunter is, if he played a big boy schedule, he's not playing both ways.
Oh no, yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think I don't think it should be playing both ways now anyway. You know what I mean? I just think that's just too much wear and tear.
Well, really? Hey, it's to get him that first contract. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what playing that both ways is, to get him that first contract. Once he gets that first contract, that's 60, 70 mil. Then he's going to go, okay, because no NFL team is going to run him both ways. It's just not going to happen.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And my question to you is, what is he better at, as a D-back or receiver?
Wow. I think I like him better as a receiver. He I think he's a little bit better as a receiver.
Now remember though, we talking NFL level now.
Right, at the NFL level. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. He might have a speed, but I don't know if he'll have a physicality at the NFL level. You know what I mean? Like if you want to get up on the line and like bump somebody, that's a whole different animal from like, you know, just using your athleticism and your speed in
Absolutely.
at the college level. You know what I mean? Like if you want to bump somebody, like that bump and run is no joke at that next level.
Right. I
So
mean, let's look at it this way. Can you really see Travis Hunter being physical with somebody like, let's say, Hopkins?
yeah.
Hopkins is a big boy.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Can you see him being physical with somebody like Hopkins? That
Or even
NFL,
Chase, the dude
right?
Chase in Cleveland who just beat the I don't know what out the Ravens. You know, it's
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like at that next level, I think he'd be better on offense than he would be on defense.
I think so too. I think
Yeah.
if you picking him as a wide receiver, and then you
Hmm.
bringing him in the prevent defense if you have to do that.
Yeah. And I think that yeah, I don't think. And then on top of that, don't wide receivers get paid more than D-backs anyway?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. If you want that big payday, you want that money, then I think he should go, stick with that offensive side of the ball. So yeah, but yeah, Colorado, man, they lost yesterday. Um,
Which
and they said,
everybody was hoping they was getting to the playoffs, but with that loss, I don't think they're getting in there.
yeah. Well, what's their record now? I think their record is at least like about 7-4, 7-4. Was that their
I
third
think it's
loss?
7. I think it's 3. I think that was
Oh,
their
okay.
third loss. But
Oh,
the
okay.
problem is they were going to make an outland bid. They weren't going to get in. They would have to win the conference title to get in.
Yeah,
And they now I don't see them doing it.
yeah. And so I think they got one more regular season game anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Next week, I think next week is championship week.
oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, but I mean, all right. So what do you think about the rumors that Dion and Shador might go to the Raiders?
Good look for Shador, bad look for Dion.
Why bad look for Dion?
Because as much as Dion talks a good game, you know what I'm saying? You got to prove yourself. And unfortunately, as talented as a coach Dion is,
Yeah.
he leaving at each level of his coaching right at the time where either success comes or disappointment comes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At Jackson State, there was no expectations. So as he was winning there, people were like, oh my God, Dion is great.
Mm-hmm.
He shut it down. He goes to Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Now he gets to Colorado. He's winning there. Nobody expected him to win. He's winning there. Everybody say, hey, it's great. But now, next year, it's going to be the expectation of him winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then he leaves again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, Dion is a great coach, but you gotta put your boot in the mud, man. If you're gonna have a successful program, you gotta build it all the way. You know what I'm saying? He starts in the beginning, gets in the middle, then when the expectations gets higher, then he leaves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because when he was at Jackson, I thought his expectation was to get them boys into a top program, get them out of HBCU.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Get them into Division I ball.
Yeah.
And he was moving towards that situation. You know what I'm saying? He was moving that program towards that situation to get them boys into a D1 program.
Yeah.
And he leaves.
Yeah. Or he was at Jackson State. He had the chance to like not just uplift Jackson State, but all of the HBCUs and draw more attention to that. You know what I mean? To those schools anyway. But yeah, he rolled out before he could do that.
Right. And now it seems like he's throwing the same thing at Colorado. Yeah. The expectation now for next year is Colorado should be a beast. Mm-hmm. You got top recruits coming in. You got people, decommitting just so they can go and play there. And, why would Dion leave again if not unless he's running from success?
Yeah.
And I understand he's getting a bigger paycheck every time he leaves. But when you want to be known as a successful coach,
mm-hmm.
you got to make a successful program.
Yeah, you
can't. Right. You can't just build it and just leave.
Yeah. Well, now they're starting to promote Dion as a coach, like a one who can change the cultures in a locker room, right? So that's why I said they might be leaning towards trying to get Dion to go to the NFL, because they're saying that, all right, he could go to the NFL and change the culture in certain locker rooms, like, say for instance, like the Raiders, or maybe even the Cowboys, because of his background. You know what I mean? And the fact that he played and he won at that level, he may have some credibility. So they're trying to promote that aspect of him.
Right, and which is cool, you know what I'm saying? If you can change the culture in the locker room, that's fine. But two things we got to remember when we talk about the situation. You got to remember, one, you're talking about professionals that's making more than the coach. Okay. And then two, you got to talk about grown men. You know what I'm saying? So Dion can't take the same attitude that he uses for kids when he's coaching grown men. And he even said that there's a different mentality when coaching kids and grown people.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of times because he had now, let's be honest, he had assistant coach offers on the table for a while, ever since he was doing Pee Wee League. You know what I'm saying? Where teams wanted him to come in, be a D-back coach, you know what I'm saying? Be a defensive coach and all that type of stuff. And he would turn them down because he said the mentality of an adult getting paid as a professional is totally different than a kid trying to make it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if I'm a program, I will take a chance on Dion, but I will have to understand what that comes with. You know what I'm saying? Now someone like Dion would not work in Dallas. Okay.
You don't think so?
No, would not work in Dallas.
Not with Jerry Jones.
Yeah, not with Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
Because what would happen, what would have to happen in Dallas is Jerry Jones would have to retire as the GM. Okay, he would have to remove himself from all, and when I say all, I mean all Cowboy decisions.
Yeah.
To get Dion. Now that means Jerry Jones would have to hire a GM and then bring Dion on. You know what I'm saying? But Jerry Jones is not giving up that power.
Yeah.
He likes being the GM of the Cowboys. And that's the one thing we Cowboys fans forget. He likes doing that. Yeah. It's not necessary for him to do it. He likes to do it. So long as he owns the team and likes to do it, that's what he's going to do.
So do you think Jerry Jones is doing that at the expense of the team, though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he putting his likes in front of what the team really needs.
No, I don't know. I think he's making the decisions that he thinks are right. Okay. And we all talk about, well, the Cowboys didn't sign nobody on this off season and stuff like that. And I get that, but let's really talk about the nuts and bolts. Somebody told Jerry that we can't do this and we can't do that. The financial people on the other side of that coin. You know what I'm saying? So when your financial people is in your ear talking about you can't do this, you can't do that because of what's going to happen, then you make different decisions. But let's talk about the draft that Jerry Jones has actually put together the last 10 years. He's hit on draft picks. I mean, look at the problem that the Cowboys have now. They have that problem because of what happened with his draft picks. Let's talk about Zeke. As bad as Zeke is now, when he drafted Zeke and Zeke first 4 years, Zeke was a monster.
Yeah.
So far as Jerry Jones, GM Jerry Jones, you know what I'm saying? I think he hit all up until last year free agency. So
I don't know though. Like, what can it? So all right. So if Jerry Jones like they have said that like Jerry Jones is like he been doing a good job as far as drafting and bringing the right players in, but I think where he falls short is like he don't let his coaches coach. That's where his biggest problem is.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Jerry Jones as the GM and his drafting and his management of the roster has been pretty solid up until last year.
Actually, you can say it's really been exceptional. You know what I mean? Because like a lot of the times, I can agree that he bringing good. You know, he get the pieces, but like I said, when it comes to he want to run the entire team though. You know, he don't want the coaches to do their. He don't allow them to do their job.
And that's Jerry Jones, the owner. Like I said, there's a difference between Jerry Jones, the GM, and Jerry Jones, the owner. The owner is bringing in these lame duck coaches. The owner has these lame duck front office people. The owner has these people in financing that doesn't understand what they're doing, because somebody like Dak Prescott, that contract shouldn't have been an issue. You know what I'm saying? That contract shouldn't have been an issue. They should have signed him 2 years ago to a smaller contract and let him roll with it, or let him go. One of the two.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But by you waiting to see what comes and what he does and everything, put him in that predicament that they were with Dak Prescott. Now he's the highest paid quarterback, but yet his results suck. You know what I'm saying?
And I just think all of that just goes back to Jerry Jones. I just think it just goes back to Jerry Jones.
It does.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about the Giants though. Like what's the problem with the Giants and them falling apart?
Yeah, that is the worst state of affairs in a football team right now, yo.
Yeah.
First, you let Saquon Barkley go with nothing. Okay,
right.
You let him go without nothing. Then you let Daniel Jones go without nothing. You just release him because he wanted his release.
Yeah.
Yo, the Giants has played themselves so far out of position, yo. It's ridiculous, yo.
Yeah.
Like, you bench Daniel Jones. You tell the world why you bench Daniel Jones. And then Daniel Jones be like, well, I want my release because you benched me. And you go, okay. What the kind of shit is that after you just paid this dude?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't get it. I don't see what the Giants. Once they let Saquon Barkley go, I just knew it was gonna be all downhill from there, though. Basically,
you don't even get a draft pick for him. You don't even get an 8th round draft pick for Saquon. You just say goodbye. Your best player, you just let him go. Say fuck it. You go and do what you want to do, which is crazy. And then you do the same thing. Your 2 star players on your team. Now, you can't name nobody else on the Giants except Daniel Jones and Saquon. And you let both of them go with nothing. Yeah. And now they're talking about the day where as though Daniel Jones might go to the Ravens.
He might go where?
To the Ravens.
Ravens?
Yep.
What?
Well, yeah, because Lamar doesn't have a backup. Let's be honest. He does not have a backup.
Yeah, I don't even know if I can name who's a backup on the Ravens right now.
I don't know. I can't remember. It's a black guy. I can't remember who he is, but
yeah, I forgot his name too. But so all right, so now the Steelers just lost to the Browns, right? And that game kind of pissed me off, man, because I thought that Baltimore should have beat them, and then here comes Cleveland, and they wound up beating them.
First and foremost, let's be honest about that game. All that snow had a factor in that game.
Yeah, that's true.
That if that was a sunny day anywhere else, Pittsburgh would have won that game. Okay.
Yeah.
The elements played a factor in that game, which it should have had. That's what that's why Cleveland has the open open stadium. Because of the weather, that's why. Actually, I think every team in the North has an open dome, right?
Yeah. Cleveland,
open stadium. Yeah, Cleveland, Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh. Yeah. So weather plays a factor in those games, which played a factor in that game. And congratulations to Cleveland for beating them in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but like you said, all of those teams in that North and the AFC North is used to playing in those conditions.
Right.
I don't know that what's the Russell Wilson. I don't know if he's particularly used to it because remember he came from Seattle. Then Denver, they get cool weather, but it's not until like late in the season that they get that real the real bad weather till at least the middle or the late in the season. And so,
but if I'm not mistaken, didn't Cleveland go on a last second drive to win the game?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, so it ain't got nothing to do with Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
Russell Wilson put him in a position to win. The defense just didn't stop him.
Yeah, but I mean, now Russell Wilson, like for the entirety of that game, though, he didn't really play like he played with, against Baltimore. He wasn't as efficient or effective in that game as he was against, Baltimore.
Listen, and you're right, but Russell Wilson, they're not playing Russell Wilson to be efficient. They playing Russell Wilson not to lose the game.
Yeah.
That's why Russell Wilson is playing right now. He gives them a better chance of not to lose the game. They're not paying him to win it. They're paying him not to lose it. And they were up to put their defense in position to win that game, which Pittsburgh always do. They want their defense on the field with the game on the line. They want the defense on the field and not the offense.
Yeah.
And the defense just couldn't do it. Defense couldn't stop them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's it. And that's just the way they are. They want their defense on the field and with the game on the line.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, let's get into some of these games that's going on today, right? So now you got your team today, the Cowboys and the Commanders. Who do you like in that game?
Well, the Cowboys are getting some of their key players back, but I still like the Commanders. Mm-hmm. I mean, right now the Commanders is the better team. The Cowboys, they're hopefully they're playing for a top 5 pick.
Mm-hmm.
So if you read between the lines, you know exactly what I'm saying with that. They're playing for a top 5 pick.
Yeah. I like the Commanders too. I like that new quarterback, and their offense looked pretty solid for Washington, right? And so I do like I like them over the Cowboys today. And so all right, the next game we got Tennessee and Houston.
I gotta go with Houston.
Yeah.
Houston came off a bad. Didn't they lose last week?
Let me see who
they lost.
Yeah, they did. I forgot who they lost to. I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
Houston lost to but yeah, they did lose last week. I'm not sure who they lost to, but yeah, they lost. All right, so yeah, I can agree with you. I'm gonna go with Houston over Tennessee. Tennessee don't really look to have too much, you know what I mean? Since in my opinion, since Derrick Henry, they let Derrick Henry out of there. They haven't really had too much going on.
Right. I mean, they were hot at the beginning of the season, and everybody was talking about it. But now, it's like, it's Tennessee.
Yeah,
I'm going with Texas.
Yeah. All right. Now, what about the Kansas City Carolina game?
Kansas City.
You like Kansas City? Yeah. So and Kansas City, what they lost their first game of the season last week.
Yeah, but they've been playing close to the vest all year. So I mean, I wasn't surprised they lost it, but it's a lot of the games that Kansas City won they should have lost. So
yeah, so they I think Kansas City was fortunate to even have a 9-0 record. Was it 9-0? Yeah, they was 9-0.
Yep.
Yeah, now they 9-1. So so I think they get back on track this week against Carolina, though. I think Carolina. And so the next game I want to talk about is Tampa Bay and the Giants. I kind of like Tampa Bay. What's the guy? Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
You don't dig Baker Mayfield?
Oh no, I like Baker. He's pretty good.
Yeah, I like Baker Mayfield, and so you know what I mean. That's a no-brainer right there. I think the Bucks definitely gonna beat the Giants.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, and so let me see. Then we got we got Miami. Is that Miami? Yeah, we got New England and Miami. So New England is playing at Miami.
I think this is a Miami game. I think Miami now, with Tua being back, they ready to roll into the playoffs. And now I think that Daniel Jones might be a better fit in Miami.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But Miami doesn't have a backup anything.
Yeah.
So they got a whole bunch of receivers, but they only got one person to throw it to them.
Yeah.
Tua goes down. That's the end of Miami season. Yeah,
see, that's the thing about Tua. Like Tua is like one hit away from being out for the season. You never know. And not even like a real vicious or serious hit. He could just fall and hit his head, and next thing you know, he's suffering another concussion.
Exactly. So, that's why I'm saying that Daniel Jones would be a great fit down in Miami, man. Miami has all the weapons, all the tools, and their coach is an offensive genius, yo. I think he would be a great fit for down there. Yeah.
So I do think that Miami going to beat New England, but the thing is now that's they play in the same division, so they always play each other tough too. No matter what the schedule is, they always play each other tough. But I'm still gonna go with Miami.
Yeah, definitely go with Miami.
Now, what about this Detroit and Indianapolis game?
Detroit. I'm going with Detroit.
Yeah.
Detroit is the hottest team in football right now.
Yeah. Now, is Joe Flacco still playing in Detroit? I mean, in Indianapolis, he's they got. Oh,
he's still playing. Yeah, they keep taking him out, put him in, taking him out, put him in.
Yeah. Well, what was the guy that they took out last time? Because he wanted to take a breather or something.
Yeah, that star quarterback.
Yeah. And so they did put him back in, but I don't know if he gonna play this.
They put him back in. He had a good game last week. He had a pretty good game last week, but I you got to put him in because you thinking he's your future. But shit, Joe Flacco don't lose you games, so it is what it is.
Yeah. I like Joe Flacco.
So do I.
Yeah. So now we got the Minnesota Vikings against the Chicago Bears. Chicago been kind of up and down. Well, they've up and down really all this season, and I like Minnesota in this game. But how you feel about this quarterback though for Chicago?
A lot of hype.
Yeah, Caleb.
They hyped him. They put him in a bad predicament.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a rookie and you sit down and somebody tell you, yo, we putting everything around you to win, so you better win.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard for anybody to do. You know what I'm saying? In the NFL. Not unless a rookie that you're telling this stuff to. You know what I'm saying? So, like most teams do, they try to develop a rookie before he was ready, and he fails.
Yeah.
And I think the same thing, Chicago's doing the same thing to this dude. And he's doing modular shit, but at the end of the year, we're not gonna be talking about him.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be talking about his accomplishments. We're gonna be talking about his failures. Yeah. That's it.
Well, and the thing about in today's NFL, those guys, they get thrown directly to the wolves. They don't get a chance to sit on the bench a lot of times and develop, like, you know what I mean? Like in most cases they don't.
Right.
So
most cases they do not.
Yeah.
And if you look at the quarterbacks right now that's really successful right now, 90% of them had time to sit for at least a year to figure things out, to see how, the NFL flows. You know what I'm saying? To figure out how to read coverages and how to call audibles and stuff like that. Most quarterbacks are not thrown to the wolves. But when you're the number one pick in the draft, and the expectations are there, either you sink or you swim. I mean, you swim or you sink. So.
Yeah, and in my opinion, people might not agree, but I think the Bears moved off of Justin Fields too soon. I don't think he just was given a fair opportunity in Chicago, really. But
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was absolutely. Yeah. They destroyed his career. They destroyed him as an NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're doing the same thing to this young kid, to Williams. They're doing the same thing.
Yeah. So let me now what's the next game? Oh, Denver at Las Vegas. I think this is gonna be a good game. Like I said, this is another one of those divisional type games, and they play each other tough all the time anyway. But I think this Denver Vegas game gonna be good.
Yeah, this is Denver's game to lose though. The Raiders are just like the Cowboys. They're dysfunctional right now, and they have no idea which direction they want to go in.
So now, what about this coach? What about the coach for the Raiders? Right, he was doing pretty good last year. You know what I mean? He seemed like he had changed the culture, but it just seems like for some reason they fell back into their old,
Because it wasn't, because last year was no expectations for him last year. Because they fired that coach and then they put him in as an interim. But now he's the head coach. Now the expectation all lies on him, and look what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a difference when you have no expectations and then when you have all the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can see, his coaching style was good last year because nobody cared what he did. Nobody was concerned with it.
Yeah.
Now this year, when you got your year to, to step up and see what your culture is bringing to the team and how you influencing a winning culture, see what happens. You lost your number one player because he wasn't happy. You have no, how can I say this? You don't have any future on the team. There's really nobody on your team that you can build around right now. So you got to start from scratch. And I think the Raiders are going to let him go next year.
Yeah. That might be Dion's team next year.
It might be.
Yeah. All right. So we got San Francisco at Green Bay. They always play each other tough. I like both of the quarterbacks. I like Purdy and I like this new kid at Green Bay.
Well, the San Francisco's hurt. Purdy's not playing today.
He not?
No, he's hurt.
Yeah.
So this is Green Bay's game to lose.
Okay.
San Francisco is so banged up right now. They've been banged up all season.
Yeah. So what? It's like a revolving door. One player come back and then somebody else go back out.
Right.
I didn't know that Purdy was out.
The San Francisco year to win the Super Bowl was last year, and they didn't get it done. And now as you can see, all their superstars are just going down at different times. I don't think they actually failed this year. Their whole roster played this year from the Super Bowl, from last year's Super Bowl team.
Yeah. All right. So you liking Green Bay in that game then?
Yeah, I'm liking Green Bay.
Okay. All right. So let's go to Arizona at Seattle. Now, Geno led their team back last week against the 49ers, last minute drive. He brought them down the field and he won the game for them against San Fran last week. So now they're going up against Seattle. Arizona, I'm sorry.
Right. I like Seattle in this one. I like Seattle. Geno's he's proven to me, because I was one of the skeptics that he's an NFL quarterback. He's a starting NFL quarterback. He's now proven to me that. So I have to say that, right now he is a starting NFL quarterback. So I got to give him his props now. And so I really think that they're going to beat him. Yeah. Matter of fact, I think Seattle's going to come back and actually win that West.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, all right. Yeah. Now, the thing about Arizona, I like Kyler Murray. You know what I mean? Like, some people are not really I think Kyler Murray is doing pretty good this year too. I like Kyler Murray. He make plays when he need to make plays. And I don't want to count them out though, Arizona.
Well, see, the thing about Arizona, they're beating the teams they should beat. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Kyler Murray is like a Russell Wilson to me. He's a game manager. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Kyler, he's good. He's okay, but I don't see them winning any championships with him.
No, I think Kyler Murray is too small. I'm not big on those small quarterbacks. I'm not big on the smaller quarterbacks just because they need number one, they need throwing lanes because it's hard for them to see over that line.
Right.
And then number two, it's hard for them to they don't stay they're not very durable. You know what I mean? He could get hurt at any time.
Right.
Yeah. So but I still think that's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it could be a good game.
Another game that's going to be a good game too. Philadelphia at the LA Rams. I think that's coming on. That's going to be the late game.
Yeah, I think it's Philly's game to win. I think Philly's going to win that game, but I can see it being a high scoring game though. But I think Philly will win that game though.
Yeah,
I think the difference is going to be Saquon. Barkley's just going to be the difference.
I think I agree with you. I think Saquon Barkley takes a lot of pressure off of the quarterback. What's the quarterback for Philly name?
Hurts.
Hurts.
Jalen.
Jalen Hurts. He take a lot of pressure off of Jalen Hurts. And so it's not always on Jalen Hurts to make a play.
Right.
Yeah. So I like Philly too, but I still think that's going to be a good game against the Rams. And so now let's talk about Baltimore with the LA Chargers. Now that's the Monday night game. Is that the Monday?
Yeah. And you know who I'm putting my money on?
Who you putting your money on?
On the Chargers.
For real?
Yep. Put my money on the Chargers, man.
Now that
Chargers offense is the boys playing. Okay. And the problem with the Ravens is right now is their defense is just horrible right now.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chargers defense plays just enough that, you know, they're going to be able to contain the Ravens. You know what I'm saying? And if the Ravens don't score more than 20 points, the Ravens are not going to win.
Yeah. And see, that's what I was going to say. That's the thing I really don't like about the Ravens. It's almost like they have to outscore every team, you know, like a shootout every game in order for them to win. Like, so if Lamar if they only give you 10, 17 points or something like that, most likely then the Ravens not going to win, right? Because the defense, I don't know if a game this year that they gave up less than 20 points.
Right. The defense can't stop water right now.
Yeah.
Them boys is just, I mean, if they line up deep in the box, they passing on them boys. If they go into pass defense, they running on the Ravens. The Ravens front three, front four is just not getting the job done to cover to cover them in the secondary. Just not happening. Yeah. They're not getting enough pressure on the quarterback to give them some relief in the secondary.
Yeah.
And yo, like I said, them Chargers got some big wide receivers, and your boy Justin Herbert loves to go deep. So I definitely see the Chargers winning this one.
Yeah.
Like if Lamar doesn't play Superman, the Chargers are gonna win.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna go with the Ravens though, just because, like I said, they you know, their last game when they lost against Pittsburgh, I think that was like Pittsburgh played them like, you know, that's how they play each other. It's always a tough game, and it seemed like most of the time Pittsburgh wound up winning those games, those close games anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Ravens though over the Chargers.
So now, and let's remember too, this is the Harbaugh Brothers Bowl number 3, I believe. So you know, it's like who's gonna outcoach who?
Yeah.
If you give Derrick Henry the ball 20, 25 times a game, Derrick Henry gets over 100 yards, Ravens win. You give Derrick Henry the ball under 15 times, the Ravens lose.
Yeah.
So it depends on what Harbaugh is going to tell the boys to do.
Well, you know what? Now, in my opinion, I think the better coach is Jim Harbaugh, because he seemed like he's more of he changes the culture of whatever team he goes to. You know, it seemed like he's the one who changed the culture, and he just built more of a winning program. I've seen him do that with the 49ers. Then, you know, we've seen him do it at the college level, and now that he's back at the Chargers, you know, they just have an immediate turnaround.
He's a good coach. I mean, he definitely a good coach, and a lot of people look past that because they try to say, well, he's not a good coach. He just come into good situations. Because you remember that 49ers team that he got, a lot of people say he inherited that 49ers team.
Yeah.
But even if you inherited, you still inherited because the culture wasn't there. So he changed the culture to make them a winning squad. So it don't matter who you got on your team, you still got to coach them up to make them the way you want them to be. So, yeah, I think he is a better coach. He's probably one of the top 5 coaches in the NFL right now. And he's probably one of the top 10 coaches in college. So, as a whole, you know, he's pretty good. I like him as a whole.
Yeah,
I wish he came to Dallas, but, you know, that's another story.
Yeah, I like the Jim Harbaugh as a coach too. Let's go over to some NBA, right? And so the Lakers just lost to the Nuggets. I think that was last night. They lost to the Nuggets 127-102. And so my thing, I think with the Lakers, their problem is when they see younger athletic teams, I think they have a problem with those teams because their stars are kind of like up in age and long in the tooth, like LeBron and Anthony Davis. You know, so those younger athletic teams give them a hard way to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. That's what I've been saying since the season started. They need to get younger. That's it. I mean, regardless of what you may think about the Lakers, or oh my God, they got Anthony Davis. Oh my God, they got LeBron. They got both of these guys towards the back end of their career. LeBron is 1 year away from retirement, and Anthony Davis is in the back part of his career. And they haven't addressed the issue of getting younger when you make draft picks like picking up LeBron's son for publicity.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? You didn't do that to get better. You did that for the publicity part of it.
Yeah.
So as the Lakers franchise, they just got to rebuild, restart again. They got to, they got to do it, because if they don't, they are never going to be taken real in the NBA again, because their players are just too old.
Yeah. So, well, let me ask you this real quick though about like the situation with their coach. What's his name? JJ Redick. Do you think, like, after JJ Redick, after this Lakers job, do you think he'll be able to get another job in the NBA?
Yeah, I think he would be able to get another job in the NBA, and I think the Lakers signed him as a coach not because of LeBron. I think they signed him because of the future. And the reason I say that because of the future, because I think the Lakers understand that their window is 2 days away from closing. So you bring JJ Redick in, and you let him gel with younger guys. You know what I'm saying? Giving that younger feel in the locker room, giving that the illusion of, okay, eventually we will get younger. Look at this young head coach that we have. Yeah. And out of all the head coaches that you have, you got the thing with JJ Redick is his, how can I say this? His relationships with other players, with other coaches. You know what I'm saying? So he may be able to bring in some talent, some younger talent that, we aren't privileged to knowing that he understands or knows. Yeah. So I can see him fulfilling his Lakers contract.
Yeah, I can see him fulfilling the contract, because like once LeBron leave and AD, like they're definitely going to go into rebuild mode. So the expectations are definitely going to be there, not going to be as high unless they get like somebody like another superstar or something like that. But yeah, I can see him fulfilling that contract. I just think that like once he was done with this contract, I think that it might have been over unless he was able to some kind of way just like go beyond like what the expectations are for the team.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, see, like I said before, though, it's when you banking on Anthony Davis to be your man,
right?
You ain't coming up with something. It's like Philly, they banking on Embiid, and look what's going on with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You need to understand the way that the NBA is going, and you need to adjust your thinking of how you want to roll with it. Yeah. And if I'm the Lakers, if I'm Philly, I'm trading them two big dudes to a contending team, trying to get a number one. I'll be honest a little. If I'm trading you Anthony Davis, I want your number one. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm calling up teams like, Miami and stuff like that, be like, look, I'll trade you Anthony Davis for your number one. And I'll start rebuilding from that point. Right now, look what's going on in Philly right now and how Embiid is running. Embiid is terrible right now.
Yeah. Their record is 3-12.
Right. And you bring in Paul George, and what is that doing for you? They don't play together.
Yeah. Well, I knew because Paul George is up in age. I didn't think that Paul George, even if you had both of these guys healthy, I just didn't think they was coming out of the East anyway. Not ahead of like New York and Boston. I didn't think so.
And Milwaukee, I don't think they were going to beat Milwaukee either.
Right. Yeah. Probably not Milwaukee. Yeah, I didn't think they was going to be ahead of those teams.
But you and I looking at the basketball from the outside looking in. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, trading them will be better because you can get your draft picks for them. But if you're in the Philly organization or the Lakers organization, you're looking at it like, yo, if you can give me one more win, all right, we got that win. Give me another win. Okay, we got that win. They look at the names instead of looking at exactly what coming with the with the situation. Yeah, they scared to trade Embiid because they figuring what the fans are going to say. Oh my God, what are we rebuilding? I'm not going to come to the games.
Well, I'm surprised though that really Embiid is not really getting more backlash because that Philly market, playing in Philly, that Philly market is all. It's just like playing in the New York market as far as the the media and the fans is concerned. They hard on their players if you're not playing up to expectations.
Right, but you know what? I think the Philly fans are used to it now. Look how much they have put around Embiid to win championships in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Embiid has played with so many superstars. He's like the second LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Philly has put people around him to hopefully win, and he just he can't stay healthy. Yeah. So I think Philly fans are just numb to it right now. Like, I don't even think they really care because the baseball team is pretty good. Mm-hmm. The football team is pretty good. And I think they just said, you know what, we can't be 3-0. So the basketball team sucks. Fuck it. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
But I'll tell you one thing though, I would love to go to a Phillies basketball game though. I've already went to one. I would love to go to another one because they do that. The Philly does have a lot of hospitality when it comes to watching them Sixers play though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. So it's a good time at a Philly at a Sixers game, huh?
It's a good time at a Sixers game. Definitely.
Yeah. All right, so in that East, right? All right, so Boston is at the top. They 13-3 in the East, but I want to talk about like New York. New York is 9-7. How do you think this I don't want to call it an experiment with Karl Anthony Towns, but do you think he's gelling, or am I being too not patient enough just to give it some more time with Karl Anthony Towns?
Yeah, you my man. You know I love you to death, but you ain't patient enough right now, man.
Yeah.
This is the NBA. I'm gonna tell you like I tell it because I'm a Heat's fan, and the Heat's are my favorite team in basketball. It don't matter what you do in the regular season. Mm-hmm. If you make it to the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, it's a whole different situation.
Yeah.
And I think what is going to happen is New York is going to play mediocre ball until they gel, and then they get into them playoffs. And that's where they're gonna make that noise at.
Yeah,
all right. That because that Karl Anthony Towns thing is a gelling factor. They got to figure it out. They got to figure out what works for them. If they want to play the inside-outside game or the outside-inside game, it's still a lot of things to figure out right now because Karl Anthony Towns loves to shoot the ball, and that's not going to be his position with the Knicks. Mm-hmm. He's going to have to play that low post, and until you can get his low post game to the level that it needs to be and where he's comfortable with it and not shooting not facing the basket, it's going to be a work in progress.
Yeah, I do think that Karl Anthony Towns is going to have to learn how to pick his spots. Yeah. Like sometimes it might be appropriate or it might be an appropriate time when he could go out and shoot those jumpers and stuff like that. But for the most part, yeah, they're going to need like a stronger, more physical presence in that low post from Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, in my opinion,
right? But they got the nucleus. Okay, now you just got to make it work. You got to make it taste good. If I'm a chef, I got all the ingredients. Now I just got to make it taste good. That's all.
Yeah. All right. So all right. Over in the West, I'm surprised though with the Golden State Warriors, man. They 12-4. They looking good.
Yeah.
The Golden State Warriors are looking good. They're leading OKC. OKC is also 12-4 too. So they share in first place with OKC. I'm not surprised OKC is still looking good.
No, I'm not surprised at that either. Yeah. And I watched the Dallas Mavericks play. Mm-hmm. They're going to be a problem in the playoffs.
They are. Now that's a team right there. The Dallas Mavericks. That's a team right there. I'm saying I think that when they gel, they like you said, they're going to be a problem because Klay Thompson, he know how to win. Kyrie, then you got Kyrie and you got Luka. You know what I mean? So yeah.
They put all the pieces around Luka that he does not have to be the winning guy every goddamn night.
No, and that's what made them so. That's what's going to make them so much more dangerous because then. When you need Luka to take over down the stretch, he can do that because he's fresher. You know what I mean?
Hey, so any one of the three can take over a game.
Right? Yeah.
Any one of the three can take over a game. If Luka can't do it, then Kyrie can do it. Kyrie can't do it, then Klay can do it. Yeah. Any one of those three can take over a game, and they're in the West, which is a whole lot younger right now running through. let me tell you, they are going to be dangerous.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't want to see them in the playoffs.
No, yeah, because it'll definitely be a tough out.
Right.
Definitely be a tough out. Now, what do you think about the Spurs though? Now the Spurs they 9-8, playing a little bit better than 300. But like, what do you think about the development of this young guy? What's the young boy name over with the Spurs? Wemby,
Yeah.
Wemby.
I think they're bringing him along the way they should,
and
that's because of Pop.
Yeah,
they know how to develop big men. And right now, I think the only thing they're trying to do right now is like say, hey, let's be better than we were last year.
Yeah.
So let's try to make it to the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Let's just be better. And they taking them one step at a time. And I'm gonna tell you what the best play they made is putting your boy what you call him around him? What's his name? Point guard.
Come on. Oh yeah, Chris Paul. Yeah.
Putting Chris Paul around that man, makes his development so much better, yo.
I like that move too. Yeah. I like that move too. Yeah.
Make it so much better.
He teaching them how to move without the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And he, he basically as a veteran, he's showing them like leadership skills and stuff like that. So yeah, I like Chris Paul over there with him too.
And to me, Chris Paul is this version of Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd and Chris Paul to me are the same type of individuals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can see Chris Paul coaching right soon as he gets out of the NBA. As soon as he calls his retirement, I can see him automatically going straight to coaching.
I think with Chris Paul, though, I think Chris Paul has as a player, I think Chris Paul has a more profound effect on his teammates. Because remember, Chris Paul played in OKC with the what's the guy, Shea Alexander-Gilgeous. Remember, he played with him over OKC, and look how he took off. You know what I mean? After playing with Chris Paul, so yeah. I think he has a more profound effect than, in my opinion, than JJ Redick.
Because let me tell you, the Clippers were the best when Chris Paul was running their show. That's when the Clippers was dangerous, when Chris Paul was running their show. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and not even just the Clippers though. When he was at Phoenix, and they went to that championship, and what was the guy name? They had Devin Booker, and the big boy. Yeah. See, as a matter of fact, that's what Phoenix is missing right now, a point guard.
Exactly.
You got Kevin Durant, you got the dude from the Wizards, you got Bill, Durant, and Booker. But they just take a turn scoring.
And let me tell you, I thought they was going to pick up Chris Paul.
Oh, okay.
I thought Phoenix was going to pick Chris Paul up before the Spurs did. Man. Because like you said, that's what they were missing. They were missing. They're missing a point guard.
Yeah. You're right. That would have been an excellent pickup.
Right, and Phoenix, and the thing about Chris Paul that I love, Chris Paul is a facilitator. He don't give a shit. He can score 2 points a game and wouldn't give a shit. But he's a facilitator. He's one of those dudes that pass first, shoot second type individuals. So if you have a lot of stars around you on your team, Chris Paul is the perfect point guard.
Yeah.
Because he will feed your stars all day long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's the Spurs, great pickup. Chris Paul is teaching that man how to become a great basketball player, just not a shot blocker, just not a dunker, just not a shooter, but an all-around basketball player. Whereas though, on the fast breaks, watch for the defense. Come back, to play defense once the shot is made and everything. Chris Paul gives the Spurs the opportunity to make the playoffs. That's it.
Yeah. Well, right now with the Spurs right now, I was just looking at them, but they like I said, they 9-7. So they're not doing too bad. 9-8, my fault. But yeah, and some people say that Chris Paul rubs the big men the wrong. They kind of rub him the wrong way. Like Andre Ayton when he was at what was he at? When they were at Phoenix, him and Chris Paul didn't really get along. Then what was the other guy when he was at the Clippers? DeAndre Jordan. Chris Paul kind of really didn't get along with that, So, but I think it's different with this young guy. and with the Spurs.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why Chris Paul didn't get along with them, because Chris Paul makes you hustle.
Yeah, he did. He make you play.
He make you play, and not only the fact that he makes you play, he shows your inability to play defense. So when he's doing his thing, when Chris Paul is bringing the ball down, if you're not hustling with him, bringing the ball down in transition, Chris Paul will give it to the open guy.
Yeah.
He don't give a fuck who you are. If you open for the shot, Chris Paul will do it. Whereas though these centers like to play what they call inside outside ball. So the play doesn't start until I get down in position. Then you start the play. Chris Paul is not that type of point guard. You know, he's not going to wait for you to come down and transition to almost hustle and get into the point where you're supposed to be at.
Right.
He's not that point guard.
Yeah, and I think that so just imagine if Chris Paul was playing with what's the guy, real quick before you get out of here, the guy that's at the Pelicans. What's the guy that Zion? You know,
hey, if Chris Paul were playing with Zion would play an actual full season. Right? Because it would be so much less off of him, and Chris Paul would incorporate everybody else on the team. Whereas though right now it goes through Zion, no matter if he's 3 people on him or not. They still want a Zion to touch the ball. If you got Chris Paul bringing the ball down and Zion's not hustling, somebody else is going to get the ball to take the shot.
That's the truth. Yeah, that's the truth.
And that's just what it is. Everybody waiting for Zion to come down the court to figure out what they're going to do. Chris Paul's not that point guard. Just like Steph. Steph's not that type of point guard. Steph's not going to wait for you to come down and set up the play. If you're not hustling, he's going to give it to the open man or take the shot himself. Yeah,
and that's what I used to dig about Rajon Rondo. You know what I mean? Like Rondo was that type of point guard too. That way, if you're not participating, if you're not hustling, you're not going to see that ball, and he's going to call you out.
Exactly.
You out.
Right. You got some point guards that are true point guards, and then you got some point guards that just like, I'm a facilitator. That's all I do. And the true point guards is going to give it to the open man, regardless of what your name is, how much you get paid. If you want to wing and you open, you're going to get the ball for an open shot. You know what I'm saying? And that's what real point guards do.
Yeah.
So superstars don't like real point guards. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. And not in this day and age, because you got to pamper them.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Can you imagine Michael Jordan right now playing in this age and taking plays off? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? I don't even understand them terms of taking a play off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yet, that's what these players do. And them old school point guards just not having it.
Yeah. No. The old school players, they just, it's just a whole different league though. Like the old school players, they didn't take plays off, and it's just a whole different league.
But before we go, let me mention this before we go. Did you see LaMelo Ball play yesterday?
No, but did he get taken out of one of the games? The coach took him out?
No, well, yesterday he scored like 50. They lost, but he scored like 50.
Oh, wow.
And let me tell you, he looked good.
Yeah.
Like whatever game they took him out because he wasn't hustling, oh my God, it changed his mentality.
Yeah.
That boy came to play yesterday, man. Oh my God, he came to play yesterday.
Well, that's good when a coach can do something like that and it has a positive effect on the player, instead of a player just, rebelling and wanting to get the coach ran out of town, he get his act together. And, and with his father being who his father is, I'm surprised that it went down like that. Instead of his father, it seemed like they'd have been like, well, you can't do my son like that. And then, but all right, that's good. That's good. That's a good look.
Right. But I mean, hopefully, his father stays out of his son's professional career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, the family business is different, but stay out of their professional career. If your son taking plays off and not hustling and stuff, and he get benched, that's on your son. That ain't got nothing to do with the father. You know what I'm saying? So stay out of it. The most you can do is give him advice like, son, you need to hustle or you ain't going to be playing. instead of going and you know, bashing the franchise and bashing the coach for bitching your son, I'm glad he stayed out of that part of it.
Right, right, yeah. And that's good that he came back and yeah, that's
Yeah.
good look.
Yeah, he came back and showed that benching me, I get the message.
Right,
Which a
right.
lot of young stars don't do.
Yeah, yeah. And that was, you don't usually see people coach like that either though, because they, they afraid of what might happen when they coach like that. So yeah, that was good look.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So well, man, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, no
Coming
problem,
in
man.
here, you know what I mean? Chopping it up with me. Appreciate everybody who was in the chat. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to tune in every Sunday at 11 a.m. Next week, I think we had a full crew back. Hey man, how was that function y'all went to last night?
Oh, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
If you live in Baltimore, you know, Park Heights is one of those communities in Baltimore that a lot of the older folks come from. It's built up community. It used to be what we call the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a lot of investment money came into Park Heights and everything. Now it's a growing community now. And, you know, it's just them celebrating with the community itself. And it was a great look, man. Great look.
That's good. That's what's up.
Great look. So
that's what's up. Yeah, yeah. All right, man. I appreciate, like I said, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody who was in the chat and tuned in. And be sure to tune in every Sunday at 11 a.m. With that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we will check y'all out next Sunday. Peace.
All right. Peace out, man.